As you can see here, I laid waste to this griffin with a Mystic Spearhand Vocation. I acquired it early in my tale and I'm about to share how you can too. It was tough, but have a seat by my campfire as I cook up a steak for us and allow me to regale you with a tale of a distinguished gentleman called Marcus Aurelius Borealis Borzoi. I have to call him Marcus though because the character creator hates long names. Marcus grew up most of the time playing 3D Zelda games on the GameCube, so Sword and Shield has always been the go-to for him. Don't get me wrong, this was fun. However, he heard tale of a novel fighting style, perfectly balanced as all things should be. It is said this fighting style has the ability to send your enemies to God. The ability to close gaps in the blink of an eye.
What's going on?
The ability to throw mobs using the Force and create force fields around you and your allies to block any and all incoming damage.
Blocked.
Oh, so of course he's gonna get that. But how is he going to do that? How is he going to do that? I'm happy that you asked, dear boy. He needs to find a wielder of the Mystic Spearhand. And although this was a simple task, wasn't an easy one. Right at the beginning of this tale, from the settlement of Melv, Marcus had to progress through the story until he was told to go to Vernworth. Thereabouts, he met one Captain Brandt who asked him to slay monsters at 3 locations and come back to him to complete the quest. Go back to Melv once again to find a diseased dragon fighting everyone and help them. At which point he saw this dude with a hood and double-bladed spear as they all battled the dragon fiercely. After the dragon cowardly flew away, Marcus asked this mysterious figure known as Sigurd about his fighting style. Consequently, he was taught how to use this new vocation, and as I said, it was a simple task but no easy feat. Let me run it back. We just arrived in Melv for the first time and all of a sudden we're hit with a heart attack.
I don't feel so good.
We get a flashback of us fighting this dragon with this cute chick, but we get absolutely roasted for simping. I am become charcoal. Then get this. The dragon cuts my chest open, pulls my heart out into the air while it's still beating and eats it. You know what you call that? Theater. That is fucking theater. And although it may have been too crude to be considered the first bypass surgery, it can easily be seen as an early form of organ donor program. Now that I think about it, our character literally faked a heart attack earlier.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get out.
We're on our way to Vernworth when we see the Cyclops here. We throw this explosive barrel at these rocks and it makes the Cyclops stumble, and we take the opportunity to stab it right in the head.
Oh!
We're making good progress to Vernworth, yet as we're traveling, we hear something approaching. What the f is this? Maybe we...
Slam.
What the fuck? This ogre drop kicks me and he drop kicks another one of my pawns, which I try to save. I mean, I still die, but... Anyway, we make it to Vernworth and speak to Captain Brandt. And we already have a few funny moments to share, like the time I pushed this goblin into the water and it got devoured by the brine as I laughed maniacally at it. Anyway, we exit the city of Vernworth to call monsters, but we're briefly sidetracked by a griffin. That's tail! The griffin had some effective moves, mainly dive bombing onto the ground. Even though we managed to stun it, this move still spelled my end. Wait, he goomba'd me! GG Griffin, I'll remember that. We head west when all of a sudden...
And yet no two of us.
What the fuck? No! Are you kidding me with this right now? That thing came for me. And it came with an intention to ruin my day. After that, I came up with the best strat to deal with the ogre on this path. It's called running. Our quest to cull the monsters takes us to the settlement of Harv, and there we find this cave full of these lizards that we have to exterminate. And at this point, I've been pursuing this fighter vocation for about 6 hours, so naturally I'm starting to get the gist of a few things. Done. We finally culled all the monsters in the cave.
Boy!
Nah, there's still one left.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sorry, did I say one?
That's what you get, fam.
As a protagonist of the story, Marcus has the ability to cross from this dimension into another where he can hire pawns to do his bidding. It is in this place that he meets a certain fellow with severe appearance deficits. Gribbles? I'm gonna use Gribbles. He's hideous. He's absolutely hideous. By the way, look at this goblin that got the ever-loving crap CC'd out of it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
We take out all the monsters at the locations and we head to Melv again. And there it is, the diseased dragon fighting everyone. After popping its minor skin blemishes for enormous damage, it flies away and we are talked to by this chick from earlier, Ulrika, who thanks us for the help and also thanks this man, Sigurd, wielder of the Mystic Spearhand. Naturally, I'm curious about his fighting style, so I ask him about it, at which point he mentions that this fighting style is used against dragons. Dragons can fly. And you know what else can fly? That damn griffin!
Oh shit. Here we go again.
After a little back and forth between us and the griffin, we give it a serious beating and the little bitch flew away. We finally showed it what for. And you would think that would be the end of the story right there, right? But that wouldn't be a satisfying ending to the story now, would it? We went after that griffin. Since it could just fly away whenever it gets hurt, but we have the ability to climb onto colossal beings, the next time it thinks about taking off, I'll have already pre-boarded it, just like you do to airplanes. You know, get on before you're supposed to get on.
I'm a bird.
But as you can see, I am plummeting to my death. However, reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. The griffin comes back for me, so I give it another beating and we take off yet again. Alright, I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. Are you serious? So when I said I'm not gonna make the same mistake again, what I actually meant is I'm gonna make the same mistake again. But now I devised a new plan. I'm not gonna touch it. And whenever it starts acting like a bird, we hang on for dear life. Oh, until eventually it drops us off at its nest like a sack of potatoes. Literally. I realized after some point my party needs some time out for some R&R, so I cook up a steak, we sleep, and when I wake, I know this time is gonna be different because I decide to add a little je ne sais quoi to my attack power, and coupled with the series of repeated sharp blows to the griffin's head, I effectively knock it out of the sky and beat it into a partially blank and helpless mental state. However, I want to render it completely immobile and functionless. So this next part kind of goes a little something like this.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Get the fuck off my shit. Stinking bitch.
Life is pain!
It would be nice to embrace this griffin in a show of good sportsmanship, but we still beat it, which is why I can confidently say 10 hours into Dragon Dogma 2, I'm having fun. As you can see, I laid waste to this griffin with a Mystic Spearhand Vocation. It was tough, but have a seat by my campfire as I cook up a steak for us, and allow me to regale you with a tale of a distinguished gentleman called Marcus Aurelius Borealis Borzoi.